welcome. I am the Sterling, and today we are playing Going Medieval. In the past few episodes, we dug out and expanded the farmland, at the same time giving us plenty of extra space either side for farmhouses. But we haven't finished with this area just yet. We've also spent a bit of time re-engineering and redesigning the front entrance. But now it looks fugly, and so this too I have not finished with. So in this episode, I'm going to rectify this. So sit back, grab a cold one, and let's get started. Right, so we got lots to do in this episode. As I was saying, we've got plenty of space either side of the farmland, to which I want to put farmhouses. As now we've got 5 farmers, but only 2 of them have homes. But to be able to build these farmhouses, I'm going to have to make a few modifications. For instance, I want to shrink our fodder storage either side, as it's sort of in the way. I'd also like to begin building our storage for our seeds and saplings, which will go about here. But to do this, I've come to realize that I actually want to extend this area out a little bit, giving us the ability to walk around the back of the farms. This to me feels a little too enclosed, and we've still got so much space to utilize in this corner. It's a waste if I don't. But we can come back to that later. As first, once again, I want to have a bit of a play with the front entrance. Now, this design that I built last episode works. So you're probably sitting there going, Sterling, why fix something if it ain't broke? Why? Because that's ugly. Look at all the bloody doors everywhere. Yes, it works, but there's doors everywhere. It's ugly, and we can't access this area via the front. It's all enclosed. The whole idea of this is to funnel the enemy into a kill zone, but I do also want to be able to access this area, and I think I've come up with an idea how I can in fact make the defense here even better and be practical. So the first thing I want to do is destroy all that, giving us a nice clean slate to work with. I might even go ahead and delete these doors, but we'll see how we go. Ta-da! Now we've got our nice clean slate. So what are we going to do with it? Well, essentially, all I want to do is run 2 walls down to about here somewhere, grab our graded doors, and just run them down like so. And the whole idea behind this is we've given ourselves even more doors for the enemy to have to get through. It's narrowed the area, so it no longer branches open, so the enemy can't collect anywhere, and we'll now be able to access either side. And look, let's be honest, it's still not going to be pretty, but I do think it's a much better design if these doors were actually the right way around. Luckily I picked up on that. That's better. Well, see, and I've done it here. What was I doing? There you go. That's how it should be. And while I'm at it, I might even round off these corners. You know, OH&S has come around and had a look at that and gone, hang on a second, those edges are a bit sharp, someone's going to get hurt. Now it's rounded. And now I've thought about it, I will delete those doors, as there's no way that they can get through all those doors. And let's be honest, if they do get through all those doors and make it to this area, they kind of deserve to be in the area. So next, let's modify the storage for the fodder. As of right now, there's no real direct route to this area here. So I want to make one. And all we have to do is delete that roof and that wall. And we'll do it on this side as well, just like so. And then I'll be able to path through this area, running a path all the way up here, and then we'll be free to start planning the layout for the homes. Well, what's next on the list? Well, if we come up to the research tab and come across here to steel, this will unlock, well, steel. So then we'll be able to start manufacturing steel. That's going to cost 30 chronicles and 15 textbooks. Let's unlock that now. Done. And now if we come over to the smelters and click on one, we have the option to start making steel ingots. We need 30 iron ingots and 20 coal to make steel. So now we'll start production on steel forever. We'll keep it at the lowest priority. That way they'll make iron ingots first, needed to make steel, and then they'll be able to start producing steel. And I'll do it for all 3 of these smelters. Done. And now it's just a matter of coming over to the blacksmith and the armor smith, clicking on the production, say in this case hatchet, go to edit and remove iron from their materials. While we're at it, we'll also remove gold and silver. So we'll only use steel to make hatchets. I'll do the same thing for great axe. Over here at the armorer's table, I'll do the exact same thing for plate armor and the exact same thing for great helms. And now we'll start only producing armor and weapons made of steel, which is good. And there's a piece of gold plate armor there. I might grab Thorlek and tell him to put on that piece of gold armor. There we go. He'll be nice and golden. And that's now our armor and weapons taken care of. Wow, we're smashing it already this episode. Well, then what's next? Well, before we go and and build homes and such in this area, let's quickly dig this little section out here. Now, I don't want to make this a big thing. I just want to hurry up and dig this out. I've done enough digging in the last few episodes. So I need to dig this out here and this out here, leaving this section and this section here and this out here and on this side as well. I then need to re-add soil to this here, just like so. Then I can dig this out here, like so. And then all this could be dug out. And that bit there. I'm sitting here trying to decide if I just want to dig it out 4 and have a path that wraps around, or dig it out the entire 10 and have a nice big space over at this end. I can't decide. I am genuinely sitting here trying to work that out. Bugger it, I'll get to work on that, and then afterwards I can decide. Now it's just a matter of getting up there. Because I want to get this done as fast as possible, I'm going to have as many access points as I possibly can. So I've got 2 on this side and 2 on this side, getting us up into this area nice and quick. Now it's just a matter of sitting back, working out whether or not I actually want to expand it 10 spaces or keep it as 4. But other than that, it's time to hit play and let them get to work. And here we go, we're being attacked. And it looks like it's a decent sized army, with quite a few in heavy armor, which makes me a little nervous. But judging on how we've gone the last few battles, I'm not necessarily sure that we've got much to worry about. And this will give us a good chance to try out our new defensive system. Now I'll just wake up all the settlers, draft them, get them into position, and get ready for a decent fight. And here we go, the first enemies are coming down the stairs. Looks like they're grouping up, getting ready to attack. They're taking their sweet time to get here, I tell you. And here we go, the first enemy's attacking the doors, and he's down. Now the next lot are moving in, and that's another one down, and another one. We're off to a great start here. They're not even through the first door, and we've taken out quite a few of them. And now they're just waiting around. I think we've scared them off, maybe. Oh no, they're just waiting to regroup. Here we go, another one's coming to the door, and he's chucking spears from a distance. You coward. Well, we can just wait you out. More are still coming down the stairs, and here we go. Quite a few have got to the door now. Hopefully Echo doesn't let them in. Get out of there, Echo. They're through the first lot of doors, but once again, they're just throwing spears from a distance. And there we go. We've just taken another one out, and he looked to be an archer. A master archer, actually. And here we go. Another one stepped into the kill zone, and he's down. And that's another one down. Well, have a look at this. Wild wolves have actually made it in, and they're attacking the enemy from behind. What's going on there? Never seen that before. Look, that's great. We've got our own bunch of attack wolves, and they're not even trained. And the enemy doesn't even seem to fight back. They just cop a flogging from the wolves. You know you're really disliked when the wild animals are even attacking you. Though the enemy seems to have stopped trying to get into Ironhold. I'm not sure if that's because the wild wolves are attacking or not, but we'll soon see, because quite a few of the enemies are dying by these wolves. Look at them go. Now the wild wolves are just eating the dead. Well, I'm happy to just sit here and run out the clock. It's a waste of time, mind you, but nobody's getting hurt, nothing's getting damaged. I'm comfortable. I'm kind of tempting to undraft the melee and get them back to work. We got digging to be doing. And we won. 11 sworn enemies died during the fight. I wonder if they included the ones that died by the wolves. None of our settlers were injured, and it looks like one greater door was destroyed. And off they go. I'm actually tempting in future battles to actually just open up these doors down here and allow them into this area so we can attack them. Because at the moment, them just standing out here doesn't really do anything for us. Now, I could just put windows into this section here, but the amount of work that would go into that is ridiculous, as this wall here is load bearing, and the moment I start digging into it, I'm going to lose the entrance above. So I'm kind of torn about what I'm going to do about this. Nonetheless, I didn't really get to use our new design, but we know it's going to work. Now it's just a matter of undrafting everyone and getting them back to work. Oh wow, a new settler. Yes, we're going to allow this new settler to join Ironhold. I'd like to introduce you to Manvers. Now you know the drill. I'll set up his jobs, his schedule, I'll manage his equipment, and then I'll get him into the ranks and he can get digging with the rest. Manvers makes settler number 20. Fantastic. We've just finished extending the outer rim of the farmland, which is great because now we can start building the farmhouses. They're going to go either side. We're going to have a couple this side and a couple this side. Though, unfortunately, we can't build any here yet. As sooner or later, I'm going to need to start expanding this direction, digging out here. Now, down the front here, I won't be, as this is where we've got underground storage. And over here is where the seeds and saplings will be stored. And then I'm thinking about maybe building some sort of storage around it, but I'm not entirely sure what exactly I'm going to do. Nonetheless, we're no longer going to keep extending this way. So as I said, I would like to actually start expanding this way. Problem is we can't. We already have a gap of 6. And so if I go digging out this wall here, everything above is going to collapse, which is not good. And so that gives me 2 options, the lazy way and the hard way. The lazy way would be I'd just leave the wall as is, dig around it, and then start expanding out. And it'd probably look very similar to this. Now, honestly, I really don't like the idea of that. I feel that this is already too enclosed. So I really don't want to go enclosing it any further. So that leaves me with the hard way. I'm going to need to find a way to support the roof. And so how am I going to go about that? I'm going to need to make pillars. So essentially, I'm just going to have to build up pillars, as I've already done in the past, and then brace the roof with beams. Then I'm just going to have to do it all the way across to somewhere about here. Now I can get in and dig the wall out by 2 blocks. Then I'll be able to get in and build build the archways and pillars to properly support and permanently support the roof, and then I'd be able to delete these temporary pillars. Like I said, it's the hard way. It's a lot of work. Now we can start planning out the houses. Now I've been sitting here having a bit of a think about how exactly I'm actually going to put these homes in, because the original plan was I was going to have 2 homes, one here and one here, and then 2 on this side. But then I started thinking, well, I could always do like a double-story townhouses down on this side, leaving this side open. And so rather than building a house that is this size and then having a pillar in the middle of it, I could actually go ahead and have a house that's this size and it's a 2-story, and then just have them bump up against each other. And now, honestly, I'm really torn. I can't decide because I actually like both these ideas. Having 2-story townhouses would save on space, though single stories either side would keep continuity. The decisions. As much as I like the idea of having the double stories, especially when it comes to it being practical, at the end of the day, I gotta remember that this area is in fact farmland, and I didn't want it to look too much like a cityscape. I didn't want it to be double-story townhouses. I more want it to be single-story spanning houses, even though they're tucked into a bloody corner. So all of that's mute. Back to the original plan of having single-story homes, which will be pretty straightforward. The walls will run across the back like so, and this one here like so. Then the side walls will run to about here and here. There'll be a frontage, and then that's the walls planned out. Simple. Then I just need to add doors, windows, flooring, and then I'm ready to do the furnishings. A stone table, a stone chair, a food shelf, a shrine for religious needs, and a backgammon table for entertainment. And then we're ready for the bedroom. Now that we have plenty of textiles, especially when it comes to linen cloth, which I have 1,200 of, and wool cloth, which I have 1,600 of, I've been going around replacing all the beds with quality beds. And so now every single home has quality beds, except for the barracks, which they're still sleeping in hay sleeping spots. So in this bedroom, once again, we're also going to be adding quality beds. So we'll put one here, a chest to keep their belongings, and then a brazier. I've also decided I'm slightly going to shrink both of these 2 homes, just like so. That way they can get in beside this pillar. I'm not sure why they would need to, but you just never know. And then finally, I just need to add a roof. And that's the first home ready to be built. Now I just have to go and do the exact same thing here. And then we'll be ready to hit play and let them get to work. Day 6 of winter, 1362. A year has passed since we started the episode. The farmhouses are complete, which is fantastic. There's at least 3 more beds for our settlers. I've already gone through and deleted 3 hay sleeping spots in our little barracks over here. I'm not going to actually use this 4th house just yet. Might end up having another farmer, making it 6. And so there's no real point in us actually putting anyone in that bed, because any day now we're probably going to get said other settler. We've also completed completed reinforcing this wall over here. So now we're ready to start pushing and expanding this direction, which is great. I plan on building a barracks over here, fitted with its own training area. Might even do a nice big grand hall where everyone can eat together. Nonetheless, this area here is now ready for expansion. We've also finished extending this area here. So now we're ready to build our new seed and sapling storage area, coupled with a wraparound storage area for limestone. That's going to be quite a task to actually complete. Once again, a lot of digging involved. And then we'll be able to delete this poxy seed shack, and then I can start building a place where we can start fermenting and storing alcohol. Not to mention, I've still got to build the stonemason and the brewery. And on top of all of this, I am finally happy with what we've done with the entrance here at the street. Other than the fact I think I need to open up the first couple of rows of doors when being attacked to actually allow the enemy into this area, I think it looks significantly better and it's a hell of a lot more practical. In fact, just noticed, need to add a bit of path there. So now we're ready to move on to the next task. Unfortunately though, this will all have to wait for another episode, as this is all the time we have for today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.